What is up? What is up? What is up? How are y'all doing? Welcome back to more CSGO news. A very, very special episode because I'm very thankful to have people like you guys out there translating these stories and bringing me this information about the Syman Gaming case. A very peculiar case we talked about yesterday, very, very briefly, as clips have surfaced about this. What seems to be a very unfortunate case for Syman, who have now qualified for the CIS minor. I did talk about if this case were to go poorly for them and they were actually to be found guilty of match fixing, it could be a team like Winstrike to take their place in the CIS minor. That seems very unlikely though, with new evidence being surfaced. But first of all, it was actually a two-match setup against Espada. I would say a much lower team than especially a Syman Gaming, who is certainly, if not on the rise, looking more competitive than that of Espada. But with that being said, during those two matches, one clip was found which did look very skeptical. I will give them that, as I will play it for you guys right now.
Kit to speak of, so it is going to come down again, most likely early.
And along with that, yes, looking very, very skeptical, especially with the fact they lost to the team as well, who is considered much lower than them. And very lastly, there was also revoked bets. All of the bets have now been taken back, which were actually on Espada to win this series as well. So with that skeptical clip, yes, it was one clip, but a very sketchy looking clip at that. The fact they lost the series as well to a much lower team. And the third fact that there was apparently a large sizable bet placed on Espada during that, and that's why all bets were actually revoked. All of that being said, the only evidence we had yesterday, it did seem quite suspicious, and hopefully you guys don't blame me for that, but more evidence has come out. Several CIS pro players and analysts have now come out defending Syman Gaming, and I'm very curious what you guys think about this, and I am trying to I think it actually is in their favor now. With all this being said, it's going to be up to you guys what you do believe about this case, but several pro players out there, or at least former pro players, that being Syman, I never know how to pronounce his name, whether it's Syman or C9, but either way, from the CIS region, had a full video breaking this down with the evidence I will show you guys very shortly. Hooch, you guys know him, former Gambit member himself, has also come out and defended Syman Gaming. On top of that, even one of the players of the team they lost, or actually lost to, that being Team Espada member Overdrive, has come out and tried to clear the name of Ramzik, the player in the clip I first showed you guys, and the evidence as to why hopefully will convince you guys. And the post on screen is actually from the team member known as Overdrive for Team Espada, the team that Syman Gaming lost to. He states pretty much a TLDR for all of you guys as well, and huge shouts, by the way, to Tem on Twitter for translating all of this for me. Thank you very much, my man. Back into the post as well, though. Pretty much a TLDR for all of you. Syman had not practiced since qualifying for the minor, and with that being said, Espada had prepared very hard for this matchup as well. Ramzik, the player we talked about in that very sketchy clip beforehand, he's actually very well off financially, so a big point they also make on top of all of this, Syman had not practiced. Espada had prepared very hard for Syman. That's already, I would say, very solid evidence, I guess you would say, in some circumstances. On top of that, he does claim that Ramzik is very well off financially and would have no reason to throw, and his very last point is that the entire team would have no reason to throw for $10,000 to ruin their entire careers for such a small amount of money. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know every time people say this kind of thing, that no player would ruin their career for this amount of money, everyone thinks about iBuyPower, and I think generally speaking, this statement is correct though. In terms of current day pro players, many of them, based off the iBuyPower experience, would not want to try and risk their careers for such a low amount of money, even if it is $10,000, which could seem quite substantial, although him saying that is very debatable. I understand that, but with all those points being said, and again, him being a member of the opposing team, which actually beat Syman Gaming, and he's trying to clear the name for them, I really am trying to stand in the fact that they are not guilty. Ramzik has also posted his very own post about this, saying a very clear point that as well, Overdrive did clarify in his post. Apparently, according to him, and I know some of you guys might laugh at this, according to himself though, a while back he actually spilled Coca-Cola on his keyboard, and ever since then, every now and again he experiences lag with that said same keyboard he is using, and that is what happened in that specific round we showed you guys where he was not responding while on the op. Yeah, I know this all sounds like almost a joke, right? You have one player clearly saying for the opposing team that no player would ruin their career for $10,000 when obviously players have ruined their careers for much less than that. I understand that this is a very debatable point, and the fact that it's come down to this guy spilling soda or Coca-Cola on his keyboard a while back, and now it lags from time to time again, and that's what happened in that round itself. It seems like a joke, but with all that being said, in all honesty, when you have an opposing member of the team who beat you trying to clear your name, as well as other former CIS pros like C9 or Sen9, whatever you want to say, as well as Hooch and other analysts, I do tend to believe this team is being legit. And it's just kind of ironic this team has been faced with this kind of public scrutiny time and time again with iDisbalance and his cheating accusations and now match fixing allegations. I'm going to say my side here, which I probably shouldn't do. I think Syman is innocent, although yesterday with all of that evidence against them, it did seem very suspicious. We don't really see too many times this many people come and back a team and say they're innocent. So with that being said, I'm very curious what you guys think about this. Do you think Syman is guilty and why? Do you think Syman is innocent and why? The evidence has been presented. There are plenty of people defending them, plenty of people accusing them. It now comes down to some sort of investigation to find out exactly what happened. I don't think there's any conclusive evidence out there of losing the series, but only having one sketchy clip that actually could punish these players. So I'm going to say they're innocent, but you guys of course can have opposing opinions if you do feel so. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy CSGO news. I'll be back here sometime shortly breaking down more esports and CSGO news for all of you. Until next time, take care. Don't cheat.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.